Ready?
Hello and welcome to Rhythm and Pixels, a video game music podcast. This is episode 32-6, and we are your hosts. My name is Rob Nichols.
And I'm Pernell.
And every week we listen to great video game music from all consoles and all generations. And last week we had a special guest on. We had Bedroth from the podcast's Very Good Music, and his other podcast he's a host on, BGM Mania. So check those two podcasts out if you're tired of listening to us.
But if you're tired of listening to us, at least tell us why. Give us a chance. We can change.
No,
we can change, baby.
I'm not going to be that guy. If you want to change, man, there's plenty of great podcasts about murderers.
No.
About serial killers.
No, us.
About mass murderers.
No. I want to keep them. I want to keep them. If you tell us what's changing, what's going down, what's bothering you.
It's not their responsibility.
We can change, baby.
It's not the world doesn't revolve around you.
We can grow. We can bench press Buicks on this show if you want us to. We just have to get really fit.
Anyway,
I got to put down the Lunchables.
I've been under the weather the past few days, so I'm not going to be talking so much later on during the show. And that's why my voice sounds the way it does, and that's probably why I'm a little bit cranky. So this whole episode, this episode's topic is a rainy day, and I've been feeling a bit under the weather, as if it's been raining on me for days.
Wait a minute. Is this all a publicity stunt? Are you actually not sick? You're feigning sick for the purpose of the rainy day topic.
I'm just shilling for NyQuil. If you're feeling under the weather on a rainy day, go out and buy yourself some NyQuil. Get a good night's sleep, wake up and listen to Rhythm and Pixels.
The video game music podcast?
You'll be glad you did. Actually, I wake up feeling like hungover. It's
just don't drink NyQuil or listen to Rhythm and Pixels while driving.
Oh, no, never. Don't do that. But you can take NyQuil and listen to the show. I'm sure it'll be an experience. Not that I want you to do things, but
I want you to feel better.
There you go. This week on the show, we're listening to rainy day music. All tracks on this week's show, we are a video game music podcast after all, have been chosen by our listeners and by our Patreon members. And this episode is live streamed. I'm pointing at our camera. Pernell's making a face.
I do make faces.
To our Patreon members. For members of our Patreon at all levels, get access to a monthly live stream where we record the episode for you. And you can have to hang out in the chat. We make jokes and chat, and it's a lot of fun. So if you're interested in that, I'm going to keep cutting Pernell off. Go to patreon.com/rhythm-and-pixels. Let me get it out. It's nyquil.com/rhythm-and-pixels. Get 30% off your next order. Okay, Pernell, what do you have to say?
I was just going to say that crap. That I'm slightly ashamed of myself because I was talking to Chris Weisner earlier about the show and the topic in general. I was like, man, I really was under the impression that it would be hard for people to come up with good rainy day tunes. I don't know why I thought that. I'm not sure what the heck's going on with me lately.
So many. We got more submissions than we ever have.
We got a ton of fantastic stuff.
We got submissions AF. Submissions all field day, son.
Now, what I got to say about that is, obviously, we can't pick every track that comes in. Though a part of me is starting to think that it might not even be a bad idea, maybe mixtape some of the extra ones just to have them as available. But just because we've received a lot of good music, and we can't play it all, but I want everyone to know that every track that comes through, we read all the testimonials and we listen to all the jams.
We do,
and it's something nice about the fact that we'll sit there. Cause we do it individually. We're not in a room collaborating. It's literally we're on our own personal spaces. Doing this, and having to go, crap. Well, I have this track, and I have this track. One of them has to go. One of them has to live. One of them has to die. And how do I decide?
None of the tracks die. They just get cut.
Hey, be careful saying that. It got me a restriction on Facebook.
All right, Persona, you're cut.
Oh my God, I really forget
Game
that.
Fan 44, you're cut.
No, she's not cut.
Jess, you're cut.
Nope. We traded Pokemon, so she can never be cut.
I love your hustle, but you're cut.
No, we traded Pokemon. She can never be cut again. She is officially Rhythm and Pixels.
You trade Pokemon with Pernell, your family.
You are family, like Olive Garden.
The Olive Garden is your family?
Oh, just like Olive Garden. Your family at Olive Garden. Your family with Rhythm and Pixels game playing.
I walk into the Olive Garden, everyone's like, "Hey, it's Rob. Thanks for coming back."
Will you have the infinite breadsticks and salads again, sir?
Clearly, I can't because otherwise I would never leave. All right, this is a great opening. I sound so dumb every time I laugh now because I kept trying to keep from coughing.
That's part of the fun.
So I just keep going.
So this is essentially the get Rob to shoot milk out of his nose episode.
Could be. We have a lot of great, like really chill tracks this episode. A lot of great picks, and later on in the show we're gonna have a quiz all about water in video games.
What?
And you can play it at home. There's 10 questions. Pernell's going to answer them all correctly because I didn't make it that hard. And he's also a brilliant mind.
Who knows water in video games?
You just know video games.
1 out of 5.
You're like, oh yeah,
5 out of 10. Too much water.
I played that game once in 1997.
Worst Pokemon ever. Too much water.
Too much water.
I can't believe that.
Squirtle. Nah, you're out. You're cut. Too much water.
Blastoise, you somehow made it in because we didn't catch you before you evolved. We like you. You're cool.
Yeah.
Squirtle with the shades, you can stay. You were innovative. You innovated your Pokemon image, and
I'm feeling pretty loose today.
Well, that's because you took NyQuil, I guess.
I didn't take NyQuil. I took Guaifenesin and something else.
I can't pronounce that.
Guaifenesin. Mucinex.
Yeah, Waffle Waffle.
You've had Mucinex.
I'd have Mucinex.
You've had Mucinex.
You didn't even pronounce it right.
Remember, I'm calling take a drink. And see, that's the thing. Like, honestly, one of my pet peeves was on the Legacy Music Hour. Brent would continue to record even though he sounded horrible, and he would like blow his nose on the air, and I found it disgusting, so I couldn't listen.
But
to
it's natural.
So I'm gonna make sure all that is cut out of the episode.
No, it's all natural.
All of you Patreon members, you get it unfiltered.
But it's all natural. That's all snotty.
That is not what we want to be promoting.
Sure we do.
Unless it's your thing. I'm not trying to shame anybody.
And remember, always be yourself,
always.
even if that means you're sick and blowing snot all over the place.
Yeah, we love you more.
Yes, be yourself, despite your illness.
All right. Guess what? It's an even-numbered episode. I realized I left a lot in. I did a very bad job editing of last week's episode, and I actually started the episode with saying I really robbed it up.
I gotta tell you something. This is funny. So Margaris goes. Every time Rob coughs, take a drink, and then Keeper goes. Pernell drinks for us, and I'm sitting there with my Mio infused water. I'm like, I don't think me drinking this is going to be very interesting. Yeah, and when I run out, I'm going to be just goggling air.
So the new studio, the bathroom is right behind me, so we can just run right back out.
More water.
Oh my gosh! All right. So this is an even-numbered episode. The topic is rainy days. We got a track suggestion from GameFan44. We got a number of track suggestions from GameFan44, but one that I absolutely...
Thank you for all of them, by the way.
Oh, they're all great. But guess what? I could not let one slip by without playing it on the show because I absolutely love the game Dustforce.
Ooh, child.
Soundtrack is by Lifeformed, and the track that she chose was Swimming While It Rains. And we're back. You are listening to this jam. I love this music so much. This is from the game Dustforce. I played it on the Xbox 360. I know it was on a couple other systems.
I think I did too.
Definitely on the PC. It was composed by Lifeformed. The whole soundtrack is on par with this. There's really no track that's super high energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a very well. That's kind of funny because we were saying earlier. Let me see. Like Jess said that the game looks fun and wholesome, and while the game, I like the game, but I have difficulty calling it either fun or wholesome.
I think it's so much fun. So.
The reason why I said it, it's not.
Oh, it's because
I'm not trashing the game.
Cursing at the game.
Because I'm cursing at the game.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, you ever play one of those games where you do speed runs, which means you have to hit accurate, perfectly precise platforming, and you just have these moments where you jump in just the wrong way, which throws off your time, which means now you can't hit the enemy that's going to give you the boost to get to the next platform. This game is riddled with stuff like that.
Oh, it's all that way. So, you are running through the stage. You can choose from between 4 different janitors. Essentially, there are mystical janitors with magic brooms. Every stage is very geometrically shaped, like with lots of angles and slopes, and covered in whatever dirt is of that area, like leaves or
like muck.
Yeah, pollutants or something like that. And you have to run over. As you run over it, you're sweeping it all up, and you're cleaning up the world. And yet, the more you clean up, you're building up a gauge that lets you go faster. And eventually, you build up a gauge. You can do a super move that cleans out the whole stage,
or a whole screen.
The whole screen, right? So, the idea is that you're supposed to do these stages as fast as you can, and as what's the word for like doing it? Anyway, you're supposed to do it really fast
and efficiently.
Efficiently. Thank you, NyQuil. You're supposed to do it as efficiently as possible, and you earn ranks on it. The game was originally created to be a platforming game
with bosses and everything.
With bosses, the bosses are still in the game. They're just not named anymore.
So you fight them?
Yeah. So this world has creatures that filth has corrupted them, and so you go through and you're supposed to clean up the creatures and make them whole again, and that's what you do in this game. And so they kept the bosses at the end of each world of this game. It's just the story isn't quite there. They pivoted it when they realized people were having more fun trying to speedrun it. And they just were like, all right, let's go all in on a speedrunning, precision platforming type game. And it is hard and fun. And actually the main hub world in which you get to different stages is even difficult to traverse.
Yep. And Rob's over here give me the knock job. He was like, hey, Pernell, you're just weak because you didn't beat the game, even though he beat the game. I'm like, well, first and foremost.
It's my kind of game, though.
I was like, well, the problem is, like, Rob can beat a game and not be concerned about getting perfect scores. For me, when a game has a ranking system, I have a very hard time leaving a stage without getting an instant A or higher ranking on it.
I know, but every game, whether you see it or not, is judging you.
But if I can't see it, I don't care. Cyber Shadow. Yeah. That game counts your deaths, but it doesn't let you know it's doing it until you've beaten the game. That's how it should be. I don't want to know anything until I'm done.
What was that game that was letting you know how many times you died and you didn't want to play it anymore? Oh, I think it was Celeste.
But there's a whole list of them.
Celeste.
Celeste did it. Like, I got to a point where, like, I was on, like, level, like, world 6 or 7 after replaying the game again after hitting my death count and getting up there. Like, I was like, you died 8 times, or it was, like, some really low number by world 6. And I started getting the death counter up again because it was a new area of the game. I was like, I quit. I can't do this.
That's awful. Like, having a high death counter means you've played that much more. It's joy.
But that's the weird thing. I get it.
It's not failure.
And that I'm happy to die in games. I still want to see the number. There's something about seeing the number.
It's not a failure, and you're just in your own head now.
I am in my own head.
Yeah.
Like Dark Souls, I die all the time, but I don't know how many times I did.
Oh, there's actually a button for that. I should tell you. It's it's in that new one. Elder Scrolls.
Elden Ring.
Elden Scrolls. If you click in R3 and press the trigger, it shows you your death count, like on the top right.
Wait, how do you know this?
I saw a thing on YouTube.
Why did you tell me that?
Because you'll do it.
No! God, no. I don't want to know how many times I've died. It's got to be bad.
I made it all up.
Yeah. Well, good. I'm glad you did, because it's horrible.
I was trying to ruin games for you.
You're trying to ruin my favorite game. Elden Ring is the reason why I can't talk about games I've been playing lately, because I'm just playing Elden Ring.
It's the same thing with everyone.
And games I'm reviewing.
I see members of my family, and they're like, "Oh, what have you been up to?" I'm like, Elden Ring. I'm like, okay, cool.
And somehow people have beaten the game multiple times. I don't understand it. Like, even if you have a ton of time, like, I like the game is just too big to complete in a short amount of time, unless you just skip most of the content. At which point I'm like, I don't understand why you'd want to do that. It's fun to explore the world and find little tiny dungeons and hang out with jellyfish.
That's like one of the coolest things about games is going off script, finding your own stuff.
Oh yeah,
I like that. All right, what's your first track that's your own stuff?
I'm going to go with this one because
you didn't pick these tracks.
Huh?
You failed.
I picked every track. And I gotta say, I'm kind of sad, but also happy about the fact that my first track came from Hammock.
You're not happy.
And
You're only happy when it rains.
It rains in this game. Hammock was very confident in this track. He goes, if I remember correctly, he made a comment like, "I got a special one just for this episode," and he submitted it with the definite belief like, "This is gonna make the cut. This is gonna do it." And I listened to it thinking, I don't think it's gonna happen. And I listened to it 3 more times, and that's how I knew I had to put it on the show. So. This track comes from a game I've heard of the series, but not this game actually. And it's called Jake Hunter Detective Story, Ghost of the Dusk. It was released on the Nintendo 3DS, and the track title is called In the Dusk 3. Composers from this game are Seiichi Hamada, Katsuhiko Nakamichi, and Tomoyoshi Sato. Welcome back to the Jake Hunter Detective Agency.
Jake Hunter's coming to your house.
in the game Jake Hunter Detective Story, Ghost of the Dusk on the Nintendo 3DS.
Dusk, turn the lights out.
The track title is In the Dusk 3. Composers being Seiichi Hamada, Katsuhiko Nakamichi, and Tomoyoshi Sato.
Sato, romantic.
This guy claims up and down he's sick with scratchy snot throat.
You bet.
But he's over here rocking some freaking, some deep voice, nighttime detective scrambles.
You missed if you're a member of our Patreon, you get some falsetto, a little bit of Boys to Men.
Wow.
Yeah, me getting obsessed with the bass at the beginning of this track. That bass, it doesn't come back again. That bass is it's syncopated and it's groovy. All right, go ahead.
For me, the whole thing about why I'm glad he says it, and I'll get to that in a second. But the thing that made me gravitate towards this track immediately is that, similar to what Hammock's going to say in his testimonial, when I think about rainy days, especially in the context of video games or media, I think hard-boiled detective agency. Nighttime, smoking a cigarette, which I hate, but in the detective's context is awesome. Smoking a cigarette and there's always ash out in the tray. A dame walks in. She drops her purse on the floor because she doesn't give a crap. And she's like, "Hey, I need help. I need a private." And he goes, "Well, if the money's right or some random voice, and she gives them the spiel. They go to hit the town. They're shaking down the perps. They're finding out the answers and the clues, and it turns out she set him up all along. She was actually in on it the entire time. It's an awesome, awesome trope. I love detective stories. I love hardboiled detective stories. But let me read what Hammock had to say, because if you didn't come here to hear about what I had to say, you want to hear what Hammock has to say.
No one's here to listen to you, bro.
Hey, you hater sickie. And then you cough.
That's so bad.
When I think of rainy day music, my mind immediately goes to detective games. There's always rain in every good hard-boiled story. Bam! See, told you. And if there's anything we've learned from detective games, it's that the music is usually excellent. A little nostalgic and timeless, but smooth at the end of the day. Detective Junguji Saburo, a.k.a. Jake Hunter, is a video game detective with an eraserhead haircut who solves all sorts of nefarious crimes. But he does it in style because the soundtracks are so good. Personally, whenever I bust out my khaki raincoat for some private eye action, a.k.a. Detective Hammock mode, I need jams in my earbuds. Subtle jams, of course.
Subtle.
I can't get too excited out on the streets or I'll blow my cover. Nobody wants to prematurely blow their cover. That's Hammock. That's our guy. We love him to death.
That's so good.
With a fantastic testimonial for a fantastic track. I'm in love with this jam.
If you love music like this, or music in this vein, if you like to listen to testimonials like that for every track, listen to KVGM, The Last Wave. Hammock is one of the greatest podcasters on the planet. I'm saying it right now.
I'm not going to disagree.
One of the best. He's so good, and just every the little spice he throws on every track. He just comes up with this stuff. It's so good. I love it. Every time I listen,
turmeric.
It's like let's just be like get in the mood.
That's nothing. No, he'd be more like vanilla extract.
Feel relaxed around Hammock. I
Vanilla
guess that's what he
extract.
wants to do.
That's
right?
the spice, isn't it?
Is that turmeric?
Cupric? Cumin, maybe some vanilla extract.
Yeah.
That's the spice that he throws on every track.
I like that. Cumin and vanilla extract.
There we go.
Like kind of a half chai.
A cha.
A cha. This is a great track. This is so good. All right, we're moving on to, you know what? I can't let an episode like this go by without a track from Electronic Boogaloo.
The electronic
I swear
Boogaloo?
all day I'm like, I'm not going to say electronic. I'm not going to say electronic. His name is Electric Boogaloo.
Electronic Boogaloo. You gotta be kidding.
He picked a track from the game Outrigger for the Sega Dreamcast, composed by Fumio Ito. The track is called Ruins of the Heart. A Dreamcast game picked by Electric Boogaloo. We know we're picking that. Let's go. Dreamcast.
Speaking of which, I love that EB put in the Discord chat Olive Garden when you're here, your family image.
Oh, he actually got the image.
He found the image because it's so true.
Oh, I love that.
When you're here, you are indeed family.
When you're here, you're stuck. All right. All right. Outrigger, Sega Dreamcast, Ruins of the Heart. Oh, so good. It was so good. Oh, and then when the cello came in, it just got better and
then
better.
when the Jello came in,
Jello.
Jello-ums.
Oh, that was like strawberry Jello. That was the track "Ruins of the Heart" from the game Outtrigger for the Sega Dreamcast, which had a North American release. Apparently, I don't remember this game very well. Composed by Fumio Ito. Holy moly!
There are no moles in this.
I am out of molies.
Not a mole to be found.
This was so good. This is better than it had right to be in the game we just watched, which looked fine.
At the time, it was probably top tier.
Oh my gosh, that was incredible. So thank you.
If you could jump, it was probably even better.
Thank you. Yeah, right. You can't jump in that game.
No, I'm saying you probably could, because I remember everybody was so obsessed with GoldenEye, even at that point in time. In GoldenEye, you couldn't even friggin' jump.
Yeah, I used to jump.
It annoyed me.
Who needs to jump in games?
Everyone needs to jump.
First-person game, you can't even see your feet. Where are you going?
Doesn't matter. I need to be able to jump. That's evasive maneuver. This comes from the guy who doesn't appreciate Mega Man's slide.
I appreciate the slide.
We had a whole debate about this.
I just don't appreciate the charge shot.
Okay,
and I don't appreciate your attitude.
Hey. Right. Jumping in FPS games is a valid action.
I think so. I think probably. I have yet to be proven wrong, though. They've all been terrible. All right, so EB writes to us, Electric Boogaloo. He writes, I couldn't think of a good testimonial for this month, so I'll be succinct here. Outtrigger, an overlooked arena shooter by Sega's AM2, initially released to arcades, arcade game, then ported to the Dreamcast during its final months on the Western market. That's probably why I didn't see it. Although I think I was really into the Dreamcast at the end of its life. Controls are a bit odd to get used to thanks to the Dreamcast controller having only one analog stick, but it's actually pretty fun. The soundtrack by Fumio Ito, that's right, of Daytona USA 2 and Outrun 2, is quite good, and this particular track does set the mood for a rainy day. It helps that it plays during a stage where it does actually rain. If anybody has a Dreamcast laying around, it is worth a shot. Oh, man. I just want to listen to this track over and over.
And to be honest, though, games that the end of the Dreamcast era was probably some of the best in gaming probably ever, because Sega was at a point where they knew they needed to really bust their butts to draw a market share, because they had lost a lot of goodwill with the Saturn, and people were already expecting the PS2 to come out and beat them, which it ultimately did, unfortunately. But back when they thought they had an actual shot, they were going balls to the wall in this case. They were trying to come up with anything that would stick and release it as a game product. And that goes for other companies, too. Like, I feel like currently something like Cannon Spike would be like par for the course, but back then Cannon Spike was really weird.
It was weird. It felt like an arcade game that you wouldn't see in an arcade. And arcades were kind of dying out in America, so you saw a game like that, and you're like, where does this fit? Mm-hmm. And it had all these characters you recognized, but you doing things you didn't recognize.
And you look at Jet Set Radio, a game that has only had one sequel, and to this very day, people are clamoring for it to come back. And yet, at that time, it just seemed like this really weird premise for a game of futuristic kids skateboarding on anti-gravity skates and spray painting walls.
Yeah, like, spray painting the town red.
It just seemed weird, but it's one of the best games ever made, and I'll hold that to the day I die.
I mean, it was really one of the first games I saw do the cell shading. And it's just a gimmick.
It pioneered it.
But for me, it was like, wow, they can make a 3D game look
this
2D.
Good.
Yeah. I felt like it looked better than trying to do textures or additional polygons. It was like, let's just try to make it look more flat. Like, why not? Mm-hmm. Like, lean into it. All right, Pernell, guess what?
You are having trouble talking.
No, I'm going to talk some more.
Oh, I know about this. The level that is not the hardest level in Ninja Turtles, even though everyone and their grandma claims it is.
Well, we're going to talk about that.
Dun, 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 dun. I don't know how many bombs are in the dam. There's probably 8.
No, that's okay. We're going to play a game called What the Water Level?
The Huda. I love how every image is Sonic drowning. You are just a monster.
We're playing What the Water Level. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to tell you the name of the stage. That's the water level.
Okay.
And you have to tell me the game it's from.
Okay, that's risky. I might not be able to do this.
You got to get it right.
I don't know if I'm going to get it right. There's a lot of games with a lot of aqua.
And then you got to tell me and if you get it right, you get bonus point for telling me the system it's on.
Okay.
All right, so this is what... Oh, and for every answer, I imaged Google search the name of the game, the word sexy, and deviant art. And so the people who are Patreon members who are watching the show can get an eyeful of what these video game
made
characters
that
have
up.
done. I'm not making this up.
I'm scared.
I deleted my history after this.
I am very scared. Why would you do this to me?
Here we go. This is what the water level. Pernell.
Am I allowed to look at the screen?
Yeah. Water dam.
Oh, the level's actually called Water Dam? Wouldn't that be Turtles 2? Oh, sorry, the Ninja Turtles game for the NES, which I guess technically the level didn't have a name. It was just level 2.
Yeah, it was level 2. Yeah.
But it was the Water Dam.
That's right. It was. It was Teenage Mutant.
God, that's horrible. I don't know what that is. It looks
I don't know.
stupid.
Image Google strikes again. All right, look, we got one down. That's good. All right, here we go. Next one. 20,000 Lums Under the Sea.
Oh, that's Rayman Legends.
Very good. Rayman Legends. Ooh, Rayman Legends.
For the record, that level had the mechanical dragon boss. Freaking great track.
All right,
Just play it on. After this is done, you got to put that track on for a minute. Or maybe. I don't know.
I think we have played it, but yeah, we'll play it. Sorry, we'll play it on the show. But pause for drama.
No, pause because you can't breathe.
Well, let's just give the listeners a chance to figure this out too.
I can't. Okay, I'll slow down.
Water Temple.
I don't know. Well, I guess a few years ago I went to visit my cousin over in Southwest Virginia, and during my trip down there, we had a really good ice cream.
I didn't mean
and
you had to
chili
fill
from
the space
Roanoke.
with more words. I'm
So,
just saying, like, just give
I
some
figure
time.
when you combine those elements along with the fact that it costs about $2.59 a gallon of gas to get down there, plus about a 6-hour drive, I would say it came from the game Zelda 2 for the NES. But, why'd you click the button?
Because you named the game.
No, I didn't.
You named the game.
I was getting further. Stop it. And also,
You name a game.
No, you don't click the buttons on my final answer.
Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask.
No.
Next, we're
Also,
going.
first of all, wait a minute. No, it's not. The Water Temple was the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time.
It was Majora's Mask.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, sure it
there
was.
was a Zora Temple in that game, but it wasn't the Water Temple. The Water Temple, the infamous Water Temple, was in Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. There ain't no... I'm fighting that answer to the cow.
Potato.
I love the fact that I would have actually said Ocarina of Time. You would have put this Majora's Mask garbage on the screen, and I would have screamed, because that is bullbagugget.
If anybody wants to correct me in the chat, you can correct Pernell first, and then they can
send
me a separate private email.
Ocarina of Time. I'll die on this pedestal. Game Fan 44 with the backup.
Ocarina of Time. Okay. I made a mistake.
It's okay.
Didn't make a mistake on this one, though. Aqua's Ocean.
Okay, this one I might not actually know. I've never heard of this.
Aqua's Ocean.
Also, for the record, it's an ocean, but it's called Aqua's Ocean. Isn't that kind of redundant?
Well, video games aren't always, like fine literature.
That is true.
Aqua's Ocean.
I might have to throw this because I don't even.
No. Give it a good guess. You can probably puzzle out maybe like the type of game it's from.
What? No, I can't. A game with an ocean in it? It could be anything.
Not like
it could be Puyo Puyo, the ocean stage of Puyo Puyo.
Maybe not like the literal, but I'm saying like, come on. What do you think?
I don't know. Like, I never heard of this.
All right, you giving up on that one?
Yeah, I have to, because
That'll be your second one that's wrong.
No, it'll be my first one that's wrong. You can take that to the bank, to the money bank.
Star Fox 64.
Okay, I don't even feel bad about that.
There
I
you go.
played through Star Fox 64 one time. Correction, I played through each route one time, and then just played the dogfights over and over again. So I have very little memory of Star Fox 64.
Check out Star Fox. He's looking good.
See, Triple Jeff said freaking Echo the Dolphin, so it wasn't just me that was like, what the heck?
Okay. And they probably had some overlap. All right. Seaside Kingdom.
This is another one. I'm like,
Seaside Kingdom.
The Seaside Kingdom.
So now I'm double guessing myself or triple jeffing myself because I don't know.
Seaside Kingdom?
Seaside Kingdom.
So this is too like
Seaside Kingdom.
Ah, my God, that's not right.
I thought you were gonna get these.
I'm not gonna get this one because
The Rice Star is splashed out. I didn't put that in.
oh man,
Yeah.
That's what? No, that's not a splash. It's like they had a specific planet name, but I don't remember the planet's name.
You gonna give up on this one too?
I have to. I have to.
Here we go. We got it's Mario Odyssey. Seaside
Go back
Kingdom.
to that level name again. Can you back it, or is it like
I can't get back. It's a one-way street.
The Seaside.
Seaside
that
Kingdom.
makes sense because they were like they were all kingdoms. Because there was the Metro Kingdom, and then like the Forest Kingdom. Another case of a game where like that's also hilarious.
Yeah, very generic
But,
names.
I played through the game, beat Bowser. The game was like, here's a bunch of more moons. I'm like, well, what do you unlock with the moons? garbage. And I was like, well, I don't really want to do it anymore. So I stopped. But at the same time, up until that point, Mario Odyssey was a gem of an experience. I just was sad that the unlocks for getting the moons was kind of meh. So that was Nintendo saying that it's all about the journey, not the destination.
That's right.
And I disagreed in that instance.
Man, you just count how many times you died. All right, up next.
Hey, what?
Mount Kazai.
Fudge, I hate you. This is actually the first quiz you've ever given where I'm getting wrecked.
I thought for sure you were going to nail every one of these.
Water levels in games, man. You know how traumatic those are?
You're going to drop an Oscar Mayer natural all over this quiz.
Crap. Mount Kazai. It's my
OnlyFans. Thank you. Thank you, Chris Weisner. Thank you for that joke.
I just wish I could use that to stall for time as I figured out what the heck Mount Kazai was, because I'm trying to think about
Piece it together.
I'm trying to.
It's not like because I couldn't like show you an image of the stage and then we just give it away. So
Mount Kazai. What the hell game would that even be? Like
Mount Kazai. Kazai.
Could you give me one clue? Because I wouldn't be surprised if this is a game I might have played through like once and didn't even complete it.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's an RPG.
It's an RPG.
Yeah.
And it's got a mountain in it.
Yeah. Okay. I'll narrow it down. Sega RPG.
Sega RPG Skies of Arcadia then.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Yahoo!
Right. Yeah, there it is. Skies of Arcadia.
I know you like that game.
I love that game. I love that game for all of its flaws.
What flaws did it have aside from the hype, the stupid enemy encounter rate, and how slow the ship went?
Those two things.
Those
stretched the game out 40 hours longer than it needed to be.
It really did.
But it came out at a perfect time in my life to put that much time.
I feel like if they re-release this game and fix those things, it would be a gem of a release.
The Chrono Cross remake has a fast forward button. The controls are still terrible, and it's still is all herky jerky, like glitchy. Mm-hmm. But you can fast forward through like the slow battle scenes, so it's actually pretty makes up for it.
But then you can't hear that rockin' battle theme.
No. Actually, it plays all the music at normal speed, but it speeds everything else up.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's really nice. So it doesn't it's not like a fast forward rewind type thing. It has a slow down button too. I don't know why you would ever want to use that. All right, Coral Capers, Pernell.
Okay, that one I should know. That's like Donkey Kong Country. I'm sticking with that. The
so I'm waiting for the final answer now.
That's my final answer. Alliteration gives me the impression that could be Donkey Kong Country.
All right, that is Donkey Kong Country.
Okay,
Yahoo! All right.
I've been a sucker for alliteration lately.
Not all of these are deviant art, pieces of art here, but
Donkey Kong is jacked.
It does get better. Yeah, he's jacked. Anyway, let's move on. World 2-2. World 2-2.
This is Super Mario Brothers. I hate everything. The first one specifically.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to know.
The very first Super Mario Brothers game. Yes, because that's the first water level in the game.
Yes, it is. It's the first Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, Christ. That's an image I don't want to see ever again.
I don't know. That's pretty cute.
I don't know. Peach is the Super Mario Brothers 2 Peach, and then those two are just, I don't even know where they're coming from.
Yeah. I mean, their overalls are coming off a little bit, but they get jacked.
They shouldn't be that jacked. The whole joy of the Mario Bros. Is that they're like middle-aged men who are normal, but just for some reason in the Mushroom Kingdom they have extra level hops.
I mean, if that was on the package, I'd be hooked on the plumbers. All right, moving on.
Plumbers.
Meridia.
I want to see if the people in the chat get it, but I already know this one.
Maridia. Meridia.
I feel like it should be spelled with an E, but it's been a while.
I'm pretty sure I copied and pasted that one right.
I'm gonna write this letter in the air so you know that I got it before anyone in the chat gets it, but I want them to guess. Look at my finger so you know what I'm drawing.
You drawing? Yeah, you got that right.
So I want to see if other people try to guess it.
You know what? Don't use that finger with me ever again.
Wag, wag, wag.
I know what finger you used.
All right, I think it's been enough time. I'm not sure what the latency is for this, but I'm going to go with it. This should be Super Metroid.
Yeah, video and audio are the same. Same latency. Yeah, the same delay. Super Metroid. You are correct. Now, okay, I didn't want to... The Google search on... People are obsessed with Samus to the degree that, I can't stand it. And that was like...
What do you mean? Samus is a great character.
No. The artwork of, the fan art of Samus. People need to get over this, all right?
Oh, yeah.
We found a tall blonde character in a video game. Let's draw her sexy.
Oh, well, that's human nature.
There's plenty
also, I'm amazed she's 6'3". I'm slightly taller than Samus.
She is 6'3".
Also, I'm jealous of her weight because she's muscular, but she only weighs 198 pounds at 6'3". I'm 6'7", and I weigh like 260. I am envious of her.
Samus is nearly 6 feet tall and weighs almost 200 pounds.
Man, I don't know how she does it.
Solid. All right, next up. World 7-2.
The hell?
Yeah, World 7-2.
That would have water?
Yeah. World 7-2. You know it's an older style game.
Not necessarily, but I can go with you on that.
Okay, it's a retro game, Pernell.
It's a retro game on the NES.
It's a retro game.
It's not Mario 3, because Mario 3, that's pipeline. That wasn't underwater. Also, there'd be a whole island world you could have used if it was that.
Maybe, I'm going to look this up again.
Also, what? World 7-2. What the heck? You don't even know what it is. World 7. That's like the Vegas mess 7-2.
Oh, yeah, it's a water stage.
But in 7-2 in Pipe World? So it actually was Pipe World.
Yep, it is Mario Bros. 3.
Yeah. I'll be damned. I'm like, so first of all, I'm laughing
Look at that man in the frog suit.
I'm laughing because I made that my guess, but then said there's no way you would have picked Mario 3 when the entire island world is there. You just ignored it.
I know I did.
There's an entire world devoted to water, and you choose Pipeland, the level least known for water in the game.
Yeah, well, you died anyway.
No, I know. Oh, mercy. That's a darn shame. Hey, Solus is here.
Hey,
Solus. Also, you gotta be ashamed of yourself. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna go home yelling out in the street. This man picks Pipe World before Island World for a water stage. What the heck, Rob? I don't even know anymore. You get the frog suit for the first time in the Island World. The whole point of the suit is for swimming. It's useless on land.
Yes.
And you pick the Pipe World.
I mean, like, I just wanted to test your video game knowledge.
Now I want to go back and play Super Mario Bros. 3.
If you don't know,
now
then
you know.
I guess I don't know my friend.
I want to go back and play that. Now I've been on this real weird kick about wanting to play retro games. Maybe that was right on the tip of my nose. I should just go back and revisit Super Mario Bros. 3.
Maybe
maybe
you should go back and revisit your life.
Hey! Mario was a major point of my life. He's part of what made me the man I am today.
All right, man.
That's why I'm able to stomp out mushrooms with such precision.
You hate mushrooms. What is it?
That's right.
Mushrooms?
That's right.
I don't get it.
Thank you, Mario. Well, correction. I like some mushrooms. They give me power, and I hate other mushrooms. I stomp them out.
Wow. All right. What's your next track?
All right, let me see. If I were to look at another track, because I got a little sidetracked by the madness that is taking place in your quiz
madness or perfection.
Yeah, I don't want to go that far.
Yeah.
I'm not going to blow your head up. All right, the next track I'm going to pick comes from Musashi219, Chris Weisner, the wise guy. And this was a last-minute submission that, quite frankly, oh, God. I was like, okay, I think I'm settled. And then this came through. I'm like, well, here comes another hour of listening to music in the office that people are going to hate me for. But they didn't, because this track is that good. This comes from the game Silent Hill 3 on the PlayStation 2. It's called Breeze and Monochrome Night, and it's composed by Akira Yamaoka.
There is another reason to fill your heart with hatred. It must be this way. One day you will understand why. You must try to remember me.
Welcome back. You were just listening to Silent Hill 3 track titled Breeze in Monochrome Night, an Akira Yamaoka joint. This was composed by the person I just mentioned, and it was submitted by Chris Weisner, Musashi219, the Wise Guy. And I was amazed that I didn't recognize this track because I have a fondness for Silent Hill 3, but I also now realize that I didn't give it enough attention, probably because I blocked it out after a memory that I'll bring up shortly. But I want to read the testimony before I get too off the rails on this thing.
Silent Hill 3 is like burned into my mind. Loved it.
We'll get back to that because we gotta hash this out.
Oh, okay, yeah.
First,
hash it out.
What did the wise guy have to say? He goes, "Rainy days are great, but what about rainy nights? Rainy nights drives into the fog, and suddenly you're lost in a place that feels both foreign yet familiar. The smell of petrichor replaced by an odor of smoke and ash. You see something moving in the mist and decide to get closer." I love Akira Yamaoka's soundtracks for the Silent Hill series, as they're often the perfect blend of ambient, noise, industrial, and even dark rock. What was especially great about Silent Hill 3, however, is that the game actually came with the OST on CD at the time of release. I'm picking Breeze in Monochrome Night as it's my favorite track from the entire game series, and it does a fantastic job of highlighting the mood of the games. Echoing guitars, hypnotic piano melodies. It's an eerie maze that once you're lost in it, why would you ever want to consider leaving? Well, because of the beasties for one.
Well, yeah.
But I love this OST, and this track is a bop. Not so much a bop, more as a sway. It's a great sway. But I never finished this title because this was probably one of the first instances of Pernell getting beat over the head by hard mode. But I did get to the very end of the game. So, unlike most other games I can think of, Silent Hill 3 had two different difficulty slots. You had a difficulty for the action. I put hard for that, and that likely made it so that I found less bullets on my playthrough, and enemies took more shots to kill, which was a problem.
A lot of running around.
A lot of running. And then the other difficulty was for the puzzles. You could determine how hard you wanted the puzzles to be. And on the hardest difficulty, some of the puzzles required you to do research off the game. Like, I remember one required you to have actual knowledge of Shakespearean plays.
Yeah.
Not just the titles.
They're just like expecting you to know the content of some of the the information. That's good.
One puzzle I remember having to go look up bird watching videos, or look up stuff on birds and to figure out the actual species of different birds. It was a lot of fun.
I want to go back and try this one again. So tell me why are you unhappy?
So
why are you unhappy, Pernell?
Well, let me sit you down. I need more money. But the other reason is because in the game proper, there weren't any shops, so money wasn't an issue. But there was an issue with ammunition. And on the very last boss of the game, this and Resident Evil Code Veronica are the only two instances where this occurred, where I actually did not have enough ammunition to shoot the boss to death. Oh. You could switch to melee weapons, but at least back then, the boss on hard mode was not one I could take out with a melee weapon.
That happened to me. Shattered Memories. Is that what's called? Shattered Memories?
I'm not sure if you played that one.
No.
Did you? That's the one where it was more of a psych test. It was a retelling of the first game, and it wasn't really action-based.
No. It was. I think it was a PSP game they ported to the PS2.
You had a PSP?
No, I played the PS2 version.
You saw Silent Hill Origins. Where you had to pick up objects like TVs and stuff?
Yes. I got to the end of that game, and all I had was a typewriter. I had to hit the boss with a typewriter.
You played as Travis.
Yeah.
He was a trucker.
He was a trucker. He was a truck driver.
Choo. Wait, wrong vehicle.
No, it was good. It was good. I was just really bad at it. I want to say Silent Hill 3 was where it asked you, during the game, if you died once or twice, did you want to go on? Did you want to change mode? And I was like, oh, you know what? I'm having a hard time. I'll change the mode for this one spot.
I feel like it couldn't have been that game, because if Silent Hill 3 was the one that did it, I would have beaten the boss, because they would have you want to jack this down to easy? I'd be like, yes, God.
You no way.
To beat the last boss on a lack of ammo? Yes, I would have.
Yeah, you probably would have. But
it wasn't a skill issue, it was a resource issue.
Maybe it didn't
at that
ask
point.
later on, but it asked when we played early in the game. and I was like, maybe it was Silent Hill 2. It was someone could remind me what it was on the chat. But me and Christy were playing through it. I was getting my butt handed to me hard, and it said, "Do you want to change modes?" And I thought, I'll just change it to easy for the spot. If they're asking me to change the mode halfway during the game, then like maybe they could change it back. I couldn't change it back to normal. So I was stuck on easy mode for the rest of the game.
That's how it should be. If you switch it down for one segment, that's basically like saying, maybe you just want to stick with. Take that back.
That's a bad idea.
It's hard to say. I take that back. I do feel like it does make sense because I remember Bravely Default. There was a vibe where I had moments where it was like, not even moments. It was a point where the game made you replay chapters over and over and over again to get to the actual ending of the game.
Yeah.
And the only way I could actually deal with it without losing my marbles was by setting it to easy mode for all the repeated chapters. And then when I got to the actual new content, I switched it back to hard.
Yeah, I'm playing through Detroit Become Human. I got to put that back in, but the beginning of the game, it asks you if you want to put it on like a story mode. And in that mode, it's the quick time events are a little bit easier, and there's no danger of the characters dying. So, but if there's danger of the characters dying, then there's actually more things that can't happen in the game. And so I convinced Christy to leave it on. I know she didn't want to do that because that kind of pressure's hard. But like knowing that at any time a character can die and a completely different game can play out is so fascinating to me that I was like, we gotta play it this way.
That's something cool. I feel like I get that, and that's actually part of the coolest elements of that game. But at the same time, I do get the vibe of like, but I like that character. I don't want him to die. What was it like? There's a number of games that do like Until Dawn did that, and I didn't want anyone to die, so I broke my neck to keep every character alive. But before we move on, I want to make sure I get this laid out too, because Triple Jeff hit me with a whammy spot. He goes,
we call him Triple Jeff.
He goes, resource management is a skill, Pernell. And I gotta say, it is a skill. I'm not refuting that. What I am saying is, if I resource my way through the entire game, and the final boss, I'm losing to them not because I can't evade or whatever, just because I literally ran out of bullets. And the only thing preventing me from seeing the end and not repeating like a 10-hour game, which for me at the time it was like a 10-hour game, is just sucking it up and going, you know what, scale it back so you can actually do enough damage. I'm going to take the whammy. Like, I accept I failed resource management at hard mode on Silent Hill 3 because the last boss took me for a loop. But
resource management, someone posted online that there was a secret ending or or multiple endings to Wilmot's Warehouse.
What?
And I think he posted like, there's an ending to Wilmot's Warehouse? And like, yeah, apparently there's like an ending that's like supposed to be really, really good.
I assume the ending would be if you fulfill all the tasks they give you, because they're actually they're structured tasks. Like I'm assuming once you've gotten every object that you can have shipped in the warehouse, loaded into the warehouse.
You probably have to load yourself.
That would be great. He gets delivered to a new home.
Yeah, it seems like it's like natural. It's like, oh, of course, that's what I would do. I would sit in the warehouse next to the rows and rows of other Miis and wait for the next person to play.
But speaking of which, I can say I have gotten better at resource management over the years. Maybe Silent Hill 3 was the shock I needed. But
you've been too good at resource management.
That is true. Pernell doesn't use anything now. It's become a running joke on SML even. Someone was reviewing a completely unrelated game to me. They mentioned like skill point spending, and they just out of nowhere goes, well, I guess that means Pernell's going to be in a bit of a tissy. He doesn't want to spend his skill points. Like, that's right.
I want to see at the end of one of these RPGs, just like instead of a credit scroll, just a scroll of every item that you held on to that you didn't use.
That's right.
And how long you held on to it.
That's right. And now that's where I'm at. So now I became
inefficient.
I went from being rough at resource management to being too good at resource management.
All right, we're going to switch things up to a different style of rain here. Our listener Jess sent in some tracks, a few different tracks, because she says nothing says making it rain like hitting it big at the casino. So let's go Cuphead. We're gonna listen to Cuphead. This is the King's Court. It's on the PlayStation 4 and a bunch of other systems. Track, the King's Court. Here we go, dude. We're back. You are listening to The King's Court from the game Cuphead. And that was picked by our listener, Jess. Thank you very, very much for picking this track. Much more up-tempo from everything else we've been listening to. She says, nothing says making it rain like hitting it big at the casino. I saw the trailer for Cuphead and knew I had to play it. I love watching old cartoons from that era they emulated in Cuphead, and I love music from that time period as well. When it finally came out for PS4, I eagerly awaited for it to go on sale, and once I started playing it, I was all about. I did in my free time until I finally beat it. Sorry. How do they pack so much charm into one game? The visual style and the music is incredible. As a lover of great boss fights, imagine my pleasant surprise when I discovered that the game is mainly just boss fights without any of those pesky levels getting in the way. That's what I hear. The second to last level is an epic boss parade in the Devil's Casino. There's a giant cigar, a stack of poker chips, a roulette wheel, and more, and the bosses you fight are chosen by a dice roll. On top of everything else I love about this game, I also work in a casino, so this is the penultimate level. Really hit home for me. Oh.
Hopefully, Jess, have you checked out the cartoon yet? Because I can tell you...
Oh, yeah, there's a cartoon on Netflix, right?
Yeah, like... It's gotten mixed opinions from different people. I personally feel like even though it doesn't like hit any high stakes or anything, I think it's a good cartoon. It carries the art style very well. It carries the musical tempos very well, and it doesn't take itself seriously in the slightest. I feel like it does a very good job of replicating like cartoons from that era, only with actual full blown color. So. I've been a fan of the show. I hope it gets a season 2.
Still all noodly and silly though, which is cool.
I do find it funny that Cuphead's voice. He sounds like him and Mugman sound like they're racketeers. Like, hey there, Mugman.
Of course.
Where you going there?
I love that.
I don't know that Cuphead.
I should watch that. That sounds up my alley.
It's good. It's a good cartoon, I think.
All right, Pernell, what's your track?
I should have probably prepared for that.
Sorry, I'm kind of rushing through a little bit.
I understand. Well, I actually do have it, so in your face.
Oh.
Booger Bandito.
Call me that.
This comes from the game Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, and it was chosen by our listener and friend, Curly Kevin.
Love it.
This is the track Forgotten Shade, and it is composed by Michiru Yamane. Welcome back. You are not drinking Pedialyte, but
No.
you are listening to Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, track title Forgotten Jade. This game was released on a crap ton of consoles. Let's just go with, Xbox, PlayStation, Switch. There you go. I think it got Steamed too, though. Anyway, this was composed by Michiru Yamane and submitted by listener Curly Kevin. Good pick, Kevin. Good pick.
Very good pick. I love the music from this game. It's so good.
I just need to get back to playing the game and ignoring the farming. That's all I need to do. And hopefully it got patched to the point where the Switch version is a janky mess. But I digress. What did Kevin have to say about Bloodstained Ritual of the Night Forgotten Jade? Let's find out. I played this game last weekend with the new character Aurora from the game Child of Light. I had a good time with this title, and the topic reminded me that there is a track that fits the rainy day theme that was proposed for this episode. It's nice, slow, quiet, and plays in an underground area filled with water that a player needs to swim through. Goes with the theme of rain, doesn't it? I've enjoyed this game very much, and have also started playing the game as the character Bloodless, one of said game's villains. To play as her, you have to name your save file Bloodless in bold letters.
Cool.
Hope you all enjoy the track and have a great evening. And at the end, he also says, thanks again for all you do, and I hope to be on this week's stream.
Oh, that's very nice.
It's very appreciated.
And I think they're on the stream, right?
I don't think so. I don't think they would have made it.
Oh, that's too bad.
But it's okay. There's always next time.
Killer pick. Loving this pick. Yes, there is a Symphony of the Night connection here because this is Michiru Yamane, who composed for Symphony of the Night and for the Genesis Castlevania game, which was called, Pernell, help me.
Say that one more time?
The Castlevania game for the Genesis.
Oh, Bloodline.
Bloodlines. Yeah, which is awesome. Such a good soundtrack.
I want to say the guy's name was it Eric Lacard, the one that had the spear?
Oh, it's like, he didn't compose this game. Yeah.
The composer, Eric Lacard.
Yeah. Of course, when I was younger, I was like, oh, you can play it's a Castlevania game on the non-Nintendo console. I was super stoked about that. And then you have a Belmont character, or at least a protagonist, that didn't have a whip.
And he was awesome.
He was awesome.
That honestly, Bloodlines was such an underappreciated game. It did some crazy effects with the graphic style.
Oh, yeah.
The last level to this day was probably my favorite because you had to walk upside down on the ceiling, and you had to walk forward. And there's these weird shambling robot people. It was
and just like Super Castlevania 4, I feel like they really took some directions. Like they went in a completely different direction with the music. Of course, they brought back they brought back some of the classics, and they played Vampire Killer and had arrangements of that. But each game had its own kind of almost jazzy style to it.
If I'm not mistaken, one of the most well composed or regularly remixed tracks from the franchise originated in that game. The name is eluding me. It's Sunken Palace or
and this in Castlevania 4?
And no, in Bloodlines.
Oh, Bloodlines.
It was in Bloodlines.
I can't remember the names of any.
It was stage 2. I know that.
Okay.
But it was.
It sounds familiar, and I bet I liked it. But Michiru Yamane is such a powerhouse of composition, and I love that she's still in music. I mean, she did so much of Bloodstained, and I would like to know what else she's been working on.
I'll have to double check.
I'll have to look.
I don't want to shoot myself in the foot because this is a VGM podcast.
I should know this.
I'm trying to speculate if she was the one who did the title theme for was it maybe Shovel Knight or something? I have to double check.
Oh no, maybe it was. I don't think it was though, but maybe it was.
Unless we'll find out.
I'll have to find out.
Actually, let me see. Maybe EB's got it. He'll come in for
clutch.
EB
coming clutch.
But Bronto's got with Plant's Grave. It's got electrolytes.
Oh, no, he's posting GIFs.
No, but that was the perfect gift.
Yeah, it was a perfect gift.
Bronto.
We also have a Discord server. Discord server's open to everybody. It's a free-for-all fun house of jokes and video game music.
Food, folks, and fun without the McDonald's.
But there is a channel that is just for Patreon members, which is really just for the live stream. So if you want to get on that, all levels of Patreon can get into that stuff.
Well, obviously, even if you don't do
any
that.
progress there, Pernell?
Progress with what?
Okay, moving on.
What are you looking for? What's happening?
One of the extra composers of Shovel Knight.
Oh, I didn't dig. I was assuming we'd find out on the next break.
You're gonna find it? You dig? We'll find out on the next break. I'm gonna turn this track down and find a new co-host.
Hey, you ain't replacing me. I'll take the chair with me.
Yeah. The triple P.
That's right.
Triple P.
Triple P.
Pedialyte. Pernell.
Pernell Pedialyte Power.
And the PSP.
No, that's a lot of P's.
It's the triple PSP.
There you go. That's a little better.
All right, we're getting to the part of our show that we call the bonus round.
That's not the triple bonus round, is it?
Bonus round?
No, it's triple bonus round.
Oh, okay. Bonus round.
Triple.
Bonus.
Try.
Round.
Times 3.
Are we doing like a stream of consciousness like exercise here?
Quite possibly.
I can't think of anything but mucus. Mucus.
The mucal round. There we go.
The bonus round is the part of the show where we play covers and remixes and arrangements on our theme. Pernell.
You're suffering.
I'm suffering. I know. This is what people tune in for. All right, so I picked the track from Bedroth. Bedroth, from our last week's episode, he submitted 2 remix tracks. We're going to listen to this one. This is the Song of Storms remix from The Legend of Zelda. This is from the YouTube channel Video Game Remixes. Applejacks and grapefruit. That was the Song of Storms remix by Video Game Remixes, the YouTube page. I wish I knew their names. I don't know their names. That was from, obviously, The Legend of Zelda, obviously. And that was picked by our listener, obviously. Bedroth, obviously. Nothing's obvious, Pernell.
Nothing's obvious but the day.
Everything's new. Anyway.
But the hours of the day.
Bedroth writes to us. It took a while for me to figure out what I wanted to do. But in the end, I went literal. I couldn't decide between...
Is he just like... Is he playing a band right now? What's going on?
He's feeling a little wistful with a little jug band in the background.
I reckon this is a track that comes from...
I'm just doing what I can, man. I just put a little
twang on it?
Yeah, a little twang on it. Should I continue or not?
Not with the twang.
All right. It took a while. For me, it's hard to stop. Hold on. It's really hard to stop.
A little twang.
It took a while for me to figure out what I wanted to do, but in the end, I went literal. There we go. I got it now. I couldn't decide between these two awesome remixes, or two specifically rainy tunes. Song of Storms from Ocarina of Time, or one of my daughter's favorite tunes, It's Raining Somewhere Else from Undertale. We picked the Zelda music. I think both of them speak for themselves. Let's let you dudes pick the ones you like best, though, because nothing says I'm a thoughtful fan like making the hosts of my favorite podcast do extra work. Dude, you wrote a testimonial and picked music for us. You did the work.
Pretty much.
I was just like,
it's appreciated
boom.
Work, mind you.
I just spent the day listening to great music and picked the ones I wanted to play on the show. So, love it.
This is good music. Like, honestly, I think that's probably one of my favorite aspects to why we even do these Patreon episodes. Because it's kind of started as just like a one-time thing. But what comes out of it is that despite, like, I always preach on the show about the best aspect of, like, video gaming is the sharing of the experiences that comes from them.
Like a community of experiences.
Yeah, and the music is another aspect of that, because just as we share music with you guys on the show, it's actually really cool. We're like, hey, here's this topic. I have no idea what you're bringing in. Rob has no idea what you're bringing in. And quite frankly, lots of times you guys surprise the living daylights out of us with some of the selections you put down. Games I've never heard of or just haven't played. And it makes me want to go out and buy them, which actually Chris Weisner gave us a cool suggestion for a future episode, probably the next Patreon, based around this very idea. But it just makes me want to sit down and play something or learn more about a game because of a track you guys picked for us.
Yeah.
And it's a pleasure to listen through all of your tracks, submissions, and read your testimonials.
It's kind of why I like going after new topics, because it kind of puts us into thinking about music we don't normally have thought about at the time. Mm-hmm. So having a listener-suggested show means that we get all this extra influence that influences further topics down the road.
Yes.
It's great. All right, so what did you end up picking? Because I saw your name in the doc, but I lost it.
Well, this track comes from listener Martyrus.
There we are.
This is a track that, oh my God, it puts you in a relaxation states. Perfect for a rainy day, in my opinion. So I decided to choose it. This is a remix from the game Animal Crossing New Leaf titled 1 AM Remix.
Ooh.
And it is composed or remixed or covered by Omili Music, name of person being Emily Omili.
I like
or
that.
Omili.
Yeah, Emily.
I guess it is Emily Omili.
That's cool. I like alliteration.
Well, because it's fun. You're listening to a magical, wonderful jam. It's a composition from Animal Crossing New Leaf titled 1 AM Remix, covered or composed by Omili Music, named Emily Omili. God, it's a fun name to say. This was submitted by Martyrs, and this is what he had to say about a chill track done remixed to an even more chill track.
Yeah.
This says, a nice chill lo-fi remix of 1 AM. This track helps you feel relaxed as you watch the stars and moon in the sky, listening to the nocturnal noises of nature and animal. Well, I think most lo-fi music can be a rainy day tune, so there it is. And honestly, I can't deny, I can't disagree. I think this track is really good. It's one of those tracks where it doesn't stand out, and I think that's its intent. It's meant to be played and just run indefinitely because
it's supposed to give you like the mood and more about creating just the mood and less about like telling the story.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm into that. That's kind of where I'm at right now.
Just what I'm about.
I don't know how much of this is like coming through the microphone, but hey.
It's Rob Nichols. Hello out there in Radio Land.
That was a good remix.
Rob Nichols.
I like the instrumentation. I like the guitar in that very much.
Let me tell you, I like talking about you.
I like the lo-fi kind of hip-hop movement because I really enjoy hip-hop instrumentals to begin with, but I also I prefer the instrumentals that sound more like from a 90s sampled thing with like original instrumentation, and less like ones where people have like kind of garbled it up and like made it really slow and like everything's really quiet except for the snare drum, which sounds like someone's just tapping a pen really loudly into a microphone. I don't know if anyone listens to lo-fi as much as I do, but
I think there's a lot of people that listen to lo-fi. Yeah. I mean, there are whole channels dedicated to it, thousands of listeners.
And the snare is on track. The snare is there. It's on the beat every single time. But then like every other bit of that, every other piece of that percussion is like wherever the heck they wanted it to go.
So now I want the snare. But see, I'm thinking about snare bear.
From now on, if I get into a snare drum, if I get on a snare tear.
Snare tear with the snare bear.
It'll be the snare care bear.
Yes. No, I don't think it's a snare bear as in like the specific care bear. I'm saying the whole race, the whole species of snare bear.
If I get snared by a snare, you call me the snare bear.
You're snare bear.
I'll give you the snare bear stare.
I'm like snare bear snare. It's like just
anyway, on that track. Good job on that snare drum on that track. Not quite a snare bear stare on that track, but good. It's good. It's good.
Why?
Well, I mean, like classic NES tracks, especially N64 and PlayStation, like the percussion goes along pretty well, but it doesn't always punch through the track. It gets kind of muddy. It's like when I hear like a really clear hi-hat and a really clear snare, especially on classic Super Nintendo games, I'm like, boom! Who did that?
Oh, baby.
Yeah, who devoted that much space, byte space to a snare drum? Pernell.
A genius.
Pernell.
Well, I would if I knew how to do it.
Yuzo Koshiro said, I'm going to do that with a kick drum and a hi-hat and an 808. And then if someone went ahead and did that, Yamaoka did that on
That's what did you even just
Mario
say?
Kart.
It's like, I'm hound dog. Words.
Soyaoka composed Mario Kart.
Hey, I'm up.
Pilot Wings.
I'm hound dog. What words?
I hate you. All right, look, we're going to bring this on home. For more information on the bonus round, please go to rhythmandpixels.com. We'll have links to these SoundClouds and Bandcamps and everywhere you can go. Download the music, buy the music, stream the music, and support these fantastic artists. Bring me some soup, Pernell. I want some chunky soup. Thank you, everybody, for joining us on episode 32-6 of Rhythm and Pixels. All about a rainy day. Music for a rainy day, or making it rain in the casino.
Making it rain!
Whatever you want to do. Thanks to everybody who submitted tracks, including this last track. This last track came from a listener.
This came from listener Kiefert. Track title is Duel BGM 2 from the game Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist, which I don't know what other system is on, but I had it on the Switch, and I have no idea who composed this because they made sure to make it impossible to find. But this is what Kiefert had to say about the track. Hope you're both having a fantastic day. One of us is. Get better, Rob. Like, get better, get well soon, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Anyway, this last weekend, it was cloudy outside, and frankly, I was depressed and in need of a distraction. So, I downloaded Yu-Gi-Oh! On my console, and 10 minutes in, I realized this super chill track was playing, and I had to pause the game in order to take it all in. This felt like a rainy day track because it had a calming effect on me and got me out of a rut when I needed it. Definitely something I would see myself playing on the next rainy day. That's a good testimonial for what it's worth. If you ever feel like you need to chat with people to get out of a rut, and the Discord has people in it, we'll likely see it.
It's got that kind of slow rhythm that one track from Outtrigger had, like that heavy on the cymbals.
Clank, clank, clank.
It's good. This is really good.
It was a
good pick.
Tune.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh's got some good music.
It does. I just wish they actually would know who their composers
Digimon
are.
too. The Digimon like detective series.
Cyber Sleuth.
Cyber Sleuth. Yeah, the Digimon Detective Cyber Sleuth.
Detective's not the title.
Well, what am I thinking of, Pernell?
You're thinking about the same game. It's just Digimon Cyber Sleuth.
Got it.
And then there's Hacker's Memory, which I never started.
Huh.
And now Digimon Survive has come out this summer, and I'm ready, baby.
Is it a free to play?
No, don't you blasphemize my
Battle
game.
Royale.
No,
Digimon Life.
no, none of those things.
I don't see anything wrong with that. Get a new generation into Digimon.
No,
Yeah.
I want the good stuff. I want a good.
Well, they were like a Tamagotchi too, right? You had like a Tamagotchi you played along with the game. I remember my
back
cousin.
in the day. I think that's where they originally was Tamagotchi.
Yeah, Rachel had one of them, and she was into it. She was like walking it around, feeding it.
And then they had that really cool cartoon or anime that came out.
Yeah,
we got localized here. I feel like of all the animes that made it this far, that were the monster entertainment, I'm amazed that Pokemon was the one that pulled it off the longest. Like, I watched all of them. But when it came down to the wire, like, you were like, which ones did you like more? I liked Digimon, Monster Rancher, Pokemon. But both of those shows just ended. I think they ended by, well, at least Digimon, I think, ended by choice. I think Monster Rancher may have gotten canceled, but I know it had a definitive ending, though. They did beat Moo. Moo. Yeah, that was a really dumb name for a villain. But it was named after a monster in the game, so they were being authentic to the product. But, yeah, but surprisingly, like those are the ones that didn't make the cut. They didn't continue, though. I think Digimon did get like a movie like 10 years later. I
think when things get to North America, there's like you have like an appetite for that stuff, and it only goes so far.
But the thing is, Pokemon has gone very far.
Right, we got the one. It's in, right?
Like, it was like
hard to expand past that.
I think of it like this. One Piece, the anime, started in 1999. It just recently had like its 1040th episode or so. Pokemon started sooner than that and gets episodes more frequently.
Yeah.
Like, it blows my mind to think. I haven't sat down and looked into it, but just to wonder how many episodes of the Pokemon anime exist right now.
I'm waiting for Simpsons to end and then
Pokemon
to keep going.
I want the Simpsons to go on as long as possible, even if I myself no longer watch it. I just want it to live on past me.
I haven't seen any new ones. I've been rewatching season 9. It's really funny. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the show. If you want to get a hold of us, if you want to say hi to us, if you have a track suggestion or a topic suggestion, or just want to shoot some nice words our way, the best way to do that is through our email,
rhythmandpixels@hotmail.com.
For a full track listing of this episode and access to all of our episodes, because not all of our episodes are in our podcast feed or even on our YouTube page, you can find all of that at our website,
rhythmandpixels.com.
We have a 24/7, 16-bit and 8-bit radio station on YouTube. I had to take it off of Twitch. I got some nasty grams, and we got a couple strikes on our Twitch channel, so it's off finally. I was away, so I thought I turned it off, but I didn't, and so we got a strike on our channel. But anyway, we're not really using it anyway. So, but YouTube.com/rhythmandpixels. If you want to listen to some music while you're at work or you're studying or you're driving, it's just playing all day long. It's curated too. It's not just random music there. It's music that me and Pernell and some other podcasters have picked out. And if you'd like to support the show, the best thing to do is to tell people about it, or to share it on your social media page, or to click the subscribe button on whatever platform you're listening to.
Doodle on the windshield of the back of your car and dry some cans on the back and just drive around town.
That's right. Yeah, grab some spray paint and just
Rhythm and Pixeled.
Yeah. Write Pernell's whole name.
Not my whole name.
And our website and email so they can find us.
Skittlebread.
Yeah.
That's my last name.
You can also support us by going to patreon.com/rhythmandpixels. As a member there, you get access to monthly live streamed episodes just like this one. You can tune in and watch us do the show live. You get access to our super secret Discord channel that's on our Discord server. The Discord server, by the way, you can access through the website, at the top of the website. And you get some cool stuff too, like there's mugs, there's stickers, and there's some t-shirts that you can get through the Patreon. And we like to thank all of our Patreon members at the end of the episode. All the Patreon members at the highest level. So I'm only reading off those at the highest levels of our Patreon. But first, I want to say a huge thank you to 3 new members that have just recently joined. I want to thank Mark Jones, Keith Shusterman, and Chuck Kowalski.
Welcome aboard, guys. Hope
Three.
you enjoy your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for supporting our show. Even if it's just for a month, even if it's just for a day, we both really appreciate it. It's super appreciated. It helps keep the hosting paid for, pays for equipment, and soon it's going to pay for me and Pernell getting back in the convention scene again. I'm afraid to get sick again, though.
And it'll get Rob some Sepicol.
Sepicol?
Yeah, the cough drops.
Oh, the cough drops, yeah. Wait, how's that happen? I'm like lost. Anyway, yeah. Oh, the money. The money will help me get more medicine.
Medicine for my cold.
I'm
for my family.
playing Resident Evil. I need green herb.
Soup for my family.
Soup for my family. So thank you, the 3 of you, very much, the new Patreon members. That means so much to us. And so I want to thank first Brooke. Thank you so much. And frankly, Zappa, you two are superstars in our books. It means so much to us. Thank you. All right, we want to thank the number 1. Again, no name, just the number 1. But because you're number 1, that means you're at the top of that tier list. number 1. Because that is...
Maybe that was the secret all along.
Maybe that was the secret, yeah. Everything's alphabetical here. Mike Myers. Mike Myers, killing it. Doing whatever he's doing. Love you, man. Ulf Person, thank you so much. I love you, too. Fashion8060, thank you. You're cut.
No one's cut.
Alex Messenger at VGM, from the podcast at VGM Journey. I think he's also sick and missed a podcast. Unacceptable, my man. I'm doing another podcast right after this one.
No, you're not. You're going to be doing the sleep podcast.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Alex. It means a lot. Andres Milberg, Brian Pitt, Cameron Werma, Carlos, happy birthday, Kung Fu Carlito.
Kicking it old school.
Thank you so much. She did a podcast on the recent movie Everything Everywhere All at Once. Carlos, thank you very much. Chris Tienerson, Chris Weisner, a.k.a. Musashi219.
The wise guy.
Christopher Shenstrom, Chuck Kowalski, Davey Cakes, David Taylor, Enchilada Rigol, Harold Howard, Jeff, the Triple Jeff, Justin Schneider from XVGM Radio, another fantastic podcast. If you want more podcasts, check them out. I want to thank Keith Shusterman, Martyris, host of the ReVGM podcast. ReVGM is all covers and remixes and arrangements of video game music. I want to thank Michael Bridgewater, Dr. Michael Bridgewater from the Forever Sound Version podcast. Hasn't done one in a long time. Still one of my favorite podcasts out there. He's got a great radio voice. He's got a great taste in music. He is out there just doing great work in the demo scene for the Commodore 64. A master composer with the SID chip. Really impressed. Every time he has a track come out, I listen to it and I make my wife listen to it. I want to thank Rage Cage, host of the VG Emporium. Go to the VG Emporium for all of your VGM needs. Reinhard Selkova, Sleepy S'more, Steve Miller, Taco, and Ed Wilson from the VG Embassy. I maybe missed it. Yeah, GameFan44. I did. Way up top.
Okay. He's like, I got to skip. Like, I don't think you did.
I probably did. I probably got hooked on the number 1, skipped to Mike Myers. I'll say it again. GameFan44. Thank you very much. Sorry that I missed your name.
The number 1 will get you caught.
I just got caught up in that mess. Thank you all very much for your support of the show. We have a special guest coming out to the BR show all the way from Brazil in about 3 weeks' time. He is Dedeco. He is a VGM DJ. Spinning the VGM beats and clubs and raves. Not remixes, just straight up video game music. He's got mixes you can check out on YouTube. I'll have links to his YouTube on our website because they are rad and I want you to listen to them. They're so good. So check that out. Anything else you want to plug before we get out?
Not that I can think of. Just, I mean, play more video games and talk about them. I want to hear more about what you guys are playing.
Actually,
I mean, I feel weird lately because I don't play a lot of new stuff because I'm so caught up in Elden Ring and I can't really talk about review games because no one's going to really be sharing in that. Like, no one's playing those. So I want to hear more about other people who are playing.
Well, if you want to hear more of Pernell's talking about games and reviews of games and discussion of those games, check out the SML podcast. Also found on Apple Podcasts and everywhere else you can get podcasts. It's like hours and hours of just your voice, isn't it?
Well, not hours and hours, but there's a lot of my tangents. Though one thing to note though is that's not a rated G podcast.
Yeah,
I swear there.
Yeah, we get a little sweary on the live stream, but otherwise, no, we're family focused.
That's right.
Family, food, and fun here on the Rhythm and Pixels Network. All right, I gotta go. So thank you everybody very much for listening to the show. Thank you all of our Patreon members for supporting the show. Thank you everybody who tuned in to watch us do this little podcast, do this live stream. We'll see you next week. Good night.
He's Rob Nichols.
Oh yeah, and and he's Pernell.
Oh my God, it is me. It's true.
It's him. It's him. Oh my God.
No one says that. But remember, hustle bustle is quite an annoying time to deal with, or rather a feeling to deal with, because we're all kind of absorbed and just caught up in it. That's life nowadays. Weather has been, well, I guess it depends on where you live, because here it's been crazy rainy. But I've heard in other places it's just been snowy or stupid heat, stupid hot. But regardless of that, I feel like the idea of the rainy day encapsulates the important feeling of wanting to just stop and take a break. Sit down, relax, grab a glass of tea, put your feet up, and just not go anywhere. Don't do anything, but just be comfortable. Because in some respects, unless life is really dragging you around the bend, rainy days are a good opportunity to just take a break from it all and just recharge your batteries and just enjoy being in peace with yourself, or looking in to find a little bit more about finding in peace with yourself. Anyway, just take more time to relax and not let life drag you into the tumultuous maelstrom that, I don't know, our society seems to build us up to deal with all the time. And like Rob is about to do after this recording stops, make sure to get plenty of rest and fluids in your body.
Yeah, please.